respects adults a lot.
Since she started the karate lessons, she's just been so mellow, and she's really becoming more respectful.
All right, and we're back. So just to kind of close up the whole subject of motivating a child, now I primarily look at this from the viewpoint of a teacher, because that's really what a parent is anyhow. A parent is a teacher, and I'm sure that's what a parent desires to do, is teach a child the best way possible. So just to make sure that we're not being misunderstood, because a lot of times, especially with the last couple of shows that we have focused on self-disciplining, or not self, but disciplining a child.
I remember that.
So we don't want to be misunderstood. The best way to really, the best atmosphere to have in the classroom is one of a lot of positive approaches. And really, it's not that hard at all. All you have to do is look for the first thing that one of the students does very well, especially something that they're doing better today than what they did last time, and start praising it right away. Because what happens is, number one, that child is, first of all, is much more motivated to try even harder now.
Yes, that's
right?
a biggie.
Child feels like $1,000,000, right? And also, one note that sometimes goes unnoticed is, well, let's say the child is trying a certain move that he's trying to copy, right? And you tell the child, hey, Jimmy, that is perfect. That's exactly how you're supposed to do it. So besides him feeling better about it, now he knows that it's correct, right? He might have just tried, what might have just been an experiment. He might have not done it like that again if he wouldn't have said anything. Right? So it actually solidifies in that the right things are being done. And it permeates the whole classroom. Because what you have now, because you praise, and there's a close cousin to praise, and that would be recognition, right? Very, very important. And the child would do just about anything. It's like a drug to a child, even to an adult. Even for an adult.
Yeah, adults, all our students today, we could tell that they're really appreciating class, and you can see the change in their attitude.
Right, absolutely.
You can see the change of them trying harder and feeling a lot better, about that movement.
Yep.
So it works.
And what happens is all the other kids, they try harder too now, because they want to get
the whole atmosphere.
Exactly. It really changes the whole feel of the class. And we've known this for many years, because this is something that we've been trained on and worked on 20 years ago, right? And it's very powerful. But now the last point I really think to make on this one is, you always have the risk of having some students that are trouble students or difficult students.
Yeah.
Right? Now, again, to solve that, it's a matter of mindset. So expect that to happen, but also expect something else. Expect that the student that is a trouble student will have some good moments. And that's really, really important, because I see a lot of teachers falter on that one point. We have a tendency of seeing what we want to see.
And focusing on the negative all the
Exactly.
time.
When we expect to see something, then that's what we're going to notice, right?
Or you peg a person a certain way, so that's what you're always expecting.
Exactly, and that would be more, I was just kind of like saying that in a milder way, but that's
sorry.
exactly the same thing, right?
I'm not mild.
So I don't want to accuse anybody of labeling a child or like pegging them, but we do it instinctively. We don't even realize we're doing it, right?
No,
because
it's not. It just kind of happens.
Right. So if you have a certain child that 70% of the time is doing the wrong thing and is off task, it is hard to notice the 30% of the time when this child is doing well. Right? But you have to have that mental flexibility. You have to look for that first sign when this child that is always a problem is suddenly improving and suddenly doing well. You have to immediately tune into that and make sure you praise that child, assuming you want that positive behavior to be amplified and continue. Right?
It just might take a little longer for that child to
Sure.
jump on the bandwagon and change a little bit more. Every child's different, so
Sure, it might still be a very long
you
trek.
get some that are going to spawn right away, but there's some that it's going to take a little while.
Right. Okay, are we going to answer the question from earlier?
Yes. Let me repeat it. I almost forgot about that. What cartoon has a Butterfinger-loving character in it?
And do we have already people that have attempted to answer that? I think Katrina actually got it right within the first 5 seconds.
She got it right. She said the character herself, but she didn't say the cartoon. I'm going to get specific with you, Katrina.
Okay.
So, but Peter had it. What was it, Peter?
It's The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. Very good.
Bart.
Yep.
And before we introduce our guests, we actually are going to go to one of our mat chats to see how we handle the idea of talking about positive respect.
Is this Mr. Randy or is this yourself?
I forgot.
Okay. It's either one.
Okay, everybody, let's scoot back. Have a seat right over here, guys. Okay, we got our next thing. So we worked out quite a bit, guys. A little bit. Okay, okay, everybody say positive respect, sir.
Positive respect, sir.
Yeah, this is very important. Winning Black Belts have positive respect, guys. Remember, this is very important when coming up to your belt levels because, you know, you gotta always have that respect. And I'm pretty sure everybody kind of knows what that means already because we talked about it a little bit last time. But positive respect. Now, can somebody tell me who can you respect? There's a couple of main people, right? We gotta make sure we respect everybody. But there's a couple of main people, yeah, you know, we see all the time. We gotta make sure we respect them. Rebecca.
Your karate teacher.
Oh yes, that would be a good one. Your karate teacher, of course. If you're being disrespectful to your karate teacher, then we would fix you on that right away. Marianne.
Parents.
Your parents, right? Your mom, your dad. You gotta be respectful. Good. So that would be like your mom and your dad, right? Maybe your grandma and your grandpa. That would be a good one. And who else? Sure, your uncle, but who else? Who do you see every day besides your mom and your dad? Where do you go every day, Mitchell? School, very good. So who do you have to respect at school? Your school teacher, very good. So there's plenty of people that we gotta respect. Now everybody put your hands down real quick. Now guys, respect is very important. Let's say, you know, you were supposed to respect your parents. Let's say, you know, your parents came up to you and they said, you know, you had to put something away. Let's say, Andrew, let's say your dad came up to you and he said, you know what, you gotta go put your toys away. Well, what would be the proper thing to say? Yes, sir, right? That would be the proper thing, right? Now, guys, remember when you say yes, sir, you got to make sure you know how to use it properly. You know, let's say, you know, Andrew's dad told him to put his toys away. He wouldn't go, yes, sir, like that. Because, you know, he's not looking at it. You got to remember, using the 7 magic words is not just about saying them, guys. You got to make sure you're able to make eye contact. You got to make sure you look at the person. You got to show that, you know, you were listening to them, and then you say yes, sir, right there. Now, let's say you were doing something else, though. Let's say you were watching TV. Say you're watching your favorite TV show. Let's say you're watching SpongeBob. Let's say Muhammad, let's say you're watching SpongeBob, and your dad came up to you and he said, you know what? You got to go put your toys away. What do you think would be the proper thing to say?
I have to say yes, sir.
That would be good, right? Saying yes, sir. Now this one's a little harder because, you know, you're watching your favorite TV show. Even though, now guys, listen to this. Even though you really don't want to do it right there and then, you have to do it anyway. Because that's how you're being respectful to your parents right there. Now, guys, you might be able to get away with, well, you know, can I finish doing it after my TV show? You might get away with that if you ask nicely enough. I'm not saying you'll get away with it all the time, but you might do that sometimes. But being respectful, that's what it is about right there. You know, listening to your parents is, you know, a big part of being respectful. Being respectful to each other. You gotta make sure we're respectful to everybody is a big part of being respectful. I don't see anybody like hitting each other or pushing each other in the class. So everybody's actually very respectful in the class. Very good. Everybody say positive respect, sir.
Positive respect, sir.
Good. Let's line back up, everybody. Back up. Okay, attention, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Positive respect. Winning black belts have the ability to be happy and function in the world, while showing appropriate conduct and good manners. Respect represents a sincere appreciation of values and the rights of other people. They respect themselves and avoid habits and behaviors that are unhealthy and destructive.